Hey there everybody, what's up? I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I had a fantastic weekend, spent a lot of it playing video games, but hey, let's play Epic 7. So, what's the goal here? I see Ran over here doing all of his oh-so-wonderful debuffing shenanigans, so I usually like to bring Ed into that, and because I'm also going into a fair bit of damage, I have Doris and I have Arowell here. Now, I also make the decision here to just try and play this a little bit careless, kind of like to test the waters of how much damage I can absorb from the damage that KARINA is about to do. This is extremely careless and something that you can easily avoid by just straight up not like doing too much damage to one other unit. Then you can just have her use her S3, and then you don't have to deal with her whenever she has def buff. It's like, I still was able to survive that, pretty much like it really wasn't that big of a deal. And in all honesty, I could have brought like any other healer or any other kind of Aureus user. I just figured I'd bring in Unbound Knight Arowell because I use her with Edward a lot, and it usually works extremely well because a lot of the times, a lot of these like super debuff, like heavy kind of units that I bring him into, he just takes that hit and then he just dishes it back to him, and it's really just not any issue whatsoever. And Doris is just really nice to have because anytime you get hit by like unsavory debuffs that you just straight up aren't expecting, let's say that Rand was like what, 200 ER like effectiveness or something, and then he just hits my Unbound Knight Arowell, then I can just like boost her up and all that other jazz with the Doris. Hey, we're good to go. It's just all kinds of fun. And like right here, I'm pretty sure this also stuns, so this isn't even a high effectiveness effect resist KARINA. And that is all she wrote for the first round. So yeah, just a little bit of careless playing, but like, it was a little bit of testing too, just to see like really what I could take from KARINA. And honestly, anytime you see KARINA, you can completely play around her. So, here I bring in Shadow Knight, Pyllis, Roana, and Arunka, and a lot of you guys who watch any of my videos probably know I like to bring Arunka into Senya Choux, but I only bring Arunka into Senya Choux if Conqueror Lilias is there, because when Conqueror Lilias is there, she tends to go into Shadow Knight Pyllis a lot, and then they kind of like leave Arunka alone. There is always a chance that Arunka can take more damage, and then she becomes Senya's target. And if that ever happens, then sometimes like things can go a little pear-shaped, because like right now, Arunka is actually the lowest health out of the whole group here. But ultimately, it's all going to go back to Shadow Knight Pyllis, and she's going to take one hell of a wallop, by the way. This big tower that I'm going into, that Choux is 24k HP, probably also running a lot of crit damage, because this sucker is almost able to do 5,000 damage on follow-up attack. Okay, so that... Okay, I was mistaken. I thought that was an extra attack. That was the second turn, but still, almost 5,000 something damage while I have def buff is pretty damn impressive for a Choux. So, okay, here... Yeah, so that does almost 5,000. And the normal, like, S2 just by itself does, like, a little over 5k. So, either way you look at it, that's actually quite a bit of damage. So, yeah, that's a strong Choux. And right here, things are actually looking kind of bad. But because I have a little bit of souls and, like, I have some good luck that I don't have attack down, any stuff like that, I can just straight up kill the Choux. And now I just have to get through like one more turn of the Senya doing shenanigans, and I can heal from here, and after I heal from here, I'm good to go. So what could have actually prevented a lot of this? Early on in the match, I actually hit the Senya with when she had counterattack, and I stripped it. Now this is the main reason why I usually tell like a lot of people, oh yeah, whenever it's Pyllis's turn, probably don't even like touch Senya unless you're going to use it on like any of your other units, because if you strip counterattack, you just start straight up depriving yourself of like several heals. Because yeah, the big heal on Roana, it's not based on the S3, not at all. Like yeah, that's what, 5k for like a big burst heal? Okay, cool, that's good and all, but hey, wouldn't you rather receive like 1,600 something HP like per Vigilant Eye proc every single time she hits you like that? Because that adds up a lot throughout any kind of fight. And I I love this match. I love these comps. Tons and tons and tons of fun. So, ready for some actual cleave? So, this is Ahmed, Zahhak, and Ran. Something that you really probably shouldn't ever run together unless you're feeling particularly antsy, like when it comes to the like story-based comps of the characters, because they all have connections. But Ran is not even worth picking for this fight. Not even close. Because right now, the way the speed tuning is, I can't S3. If I did that, the Savior Adin would possibly hit me, and then possibly just straight up kill me. So, okay, we'll just go ahead and we'll skip Ran's first turn, and Arowell had two choices on who to pick. She was either going to hit Ran, or she was going to hit Ahmed. I really wish she hit Ahmed. Didn't happen, whatever. Lost that 50-50, because she'll never target into anyone who has invincibility. Fun thing, huh? But, okay, so now we have a cleanse. We'll just cleanse Ran up, and the next chance that Ran gets a chance, we'll strip the Belian, hopefully apply some Death Down, and we will utterly annihilate the rest of the team. So if you wanted to do any kind of team kind of like this, instead of bringing Ran, you could just straight up bring Kisei, or quite literally any other, like, mega DPS bursting kind of unit that has a 50% like CR boost manip to their S3. There are a couple of units that have that. So, like, ultimately Ran kind of gets nothing out of this. I just felt like using it because I just could. That's the only reason why I have this comp here. And just because, like, I kind of respect some of the story aspects of the game, even though, like, I haven't read jack fucking shit of episode 4, and quite frankly, I don't know when I'll find the time to. Oh, hey, looky there. It's Conqueror, Lilias, Senya, and Choux again. Except this team is nowhere near as strong as that first one. So you could probably wager that, oh yeah, maybe the Choux got really lucky in the first fight, or maybe just that one strip on the Senya really made that much of a difference, so that we're just getting less healing. But either way, this all just kind of like works itself out. Everything is like in really, really good shape. However, there was one thing in particular I did not see coming from this team. This Senya right here, easy 150 effectiveness. So she hasn't had a chance to actually like do anything yet, and I just saw that she didn't have immunity, so I was like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and hit that, and I'll just delay the S3 as much as I can, because the more I can delay the S3, the more that Arunka can actually do some damage. Because anytime Arunka is able to do damage with attack buff, you actually do feel it. The only thing that sucks is the S1 nature of Arunka's S1. It's just like, so yeah, right there, I lost the 50-50, so I didn't get the follow-up attack. Yay! I love that shit. So right here, the S3 happens. I'm expecting nothing. Holy shit. You actually hit my Roana. So right there, I immediately know, okay, so this is over 100, probably 150. And she just so happened to like miss both times on Pyllis. That and Pyllis, apparently, if you do all the math, at least mine, because of my base ER is 151, I believe she receives like an additional 50. It's somewhere close to that if you actually read the spec change notes for, or the specialty change notes for her in the character kit. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but like mine's more close to like actually 200. It's just they don't list the other ER because it's in battle. That's one thing that you do also have to kind of take account of whenever it comes to Pyllis, which is why when people use Shadow Knight Pyllis, one thing that you can do, yeah, it's not as fun as Rocket Punch, but if you have Bastion of Hope, and if you're worried about any kind of like debuff-related shenanigans, and you know she's the target for any and all debuff stuff, and it just is absolutely detrimental to you, yeah, if you just run Bastion of Hope, you will not be touched. Especially if you have like a base of like, what, 150 or something ER, and then you add in the Bastion of Hope ER along with the specialty change ER that Pyllis has, you ain't getting touched. Not even close. Which is the main reason why I like to use Christy a lot of times, but like, Christy isn't really helpful in this kind of situation because the debuffs in question that are here are not like controlling enough to really, really hurt me. Because the reason why is, yeah, Roana is there, and even if Roana gets hit with Provoke or, like, Blind or anything, she's actually fairly thick. So she'll go into Senya with that Provoke, and then she'll just straight up give me free heals. So that's where, like, it's not that big of an issue, and why you probably wouldn't need Christy for this fight. Okay, I'm about to say, you better not friggin' disconnect on me, you son of a bitch. Alright. So yeah, y'all have seen this plenty of times. So yeah, Conqueror, Lilias, Choux, and Mercedes. Okay, Sinful, Angelica, Zahhak, and Rimuru. Each and every one of those is going to just do wonderful one-tap damage. Or are they? Rare as fuck moment when that happens. She probably has 1 HP or some shit. So, the one thing I could have done, but honestly, it probably wasn't a great play to even think about, was I could have used Rimuru's S3 and possibly gotten a Death Break on the other 2 units because they didn't have immunity yet. Because, like, now, Choux has immunity because she just straight up gives herself immunity, but the Conqueror Lilias doesn't have immunity. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like, none of that shit really matters right now. So, we'll just go into Choux, and we'll see if we can kill it with the 1 dual attack, and then we'll see if we can soul burn the S1 to get another dual attack. So you had 2 chances there, pretty much a 50% chance to crit on both attacks. And hey, it worked out. Match over. You know, it's never, like, a normal day unless you see some kind of Lua shenanigans. So here was something that I found kind of interesting. So, you guys know that I was talking about how, oh man, Adin going into, like, Shadow Knight Pyllis, I'm really unsure how safe this actually is. Well, guess what? If you have a Shadow Knight Pyllis that's even, like, somewhere close to the tank realm of mine, and mine's not really even that tanky. She's really not. The thing that's impressive about her is she has, like, decent speed and ER and defense and HP. So if you have, like, a lot of good tank ability, you can really go into any Adin like that's built like mine, just from a defensive position. So what's the most important thing to really remember? Whenever you're fighting any kind of Savior Adin, the big important thing to remember is she's really not special unless she has attack buff. Attack buff is so fucking huge that it will fuck you up. And this is also a Shepherds of the Hollow, so I'm not dealing with a Sword of Cycling Seasons. Sword of Cycling Seasons would have done a little bit more damage, but either way, it still works out in my favor. Because Christy is there, she has Aureus, that nerfs 10% of the damage, and it also gives Pyllis more defense. So I have even more defense, and I take the first hit from Lua on turn 1. Now I have 10% more defense because of how Shadow Knight Pyllis' S2 works. So if you just like run these kind of numbers in your head and you actually go look at a damage calculator for it, you are very safe going into Savior Adin. The one important thing that could fuck you over is if the Lua is on Guiding Light, which this one is. But it does ultimately work out in my favor. She like doesn't get one of the procs on one of these and I'm able to hit. Or I hit into Savior Adin. But the main strategy is the very next chance I get to use Shadow Knight Pyllis, because I kind of waited and saved my time, now I have a Soul Burn and I have an S3 on Shadow Knight Pyllis. All I need are 2 turns and that Savior Adin is dead. Absolutely no threat. So I have Death Buff, and I have a Soul Burned S3. My next turn, I'll have another S3. Bam, that's 5k. I'll do that one more time, and you're dead. So even if that attack right there missed, and she had like attack buff or something, I have a little bit of a barrier, and I have Death Buff, and I've been hit 3 times. So my S2 has procced 3 times on Shadow Knight Pyllis, so she has an absurd amount of defense. And, like, with all that defense, it'll just take a lot of that damage off of you. So, that's, like, the good thing that you can always kind of remember about Savior Adin. Hopefully my rambling is kind of making sense while I was explaining this. Because after I did, like, a little bit of research looking at a damage calc, I I'm not even remotely worried about Savior Aidens anymore with Shadow Knight Pyllis on my side. The biggest thing that you kind of need to, like, really control her is if you have some means of getting souls. So if you have just if you just have 10 souls, period, you can just utterly destroy her. She won't be able to even do anything after, like, 2 turns of Shadow Knight Pyllis. And that's pretty much the Guild War. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and here comes the team. So yeah, there's my rand. Please laugh. It's not 300 speed. Yeah, fucking garbage. Just delete the character. I'm bad. But yeah, hey, you guys know me. I don't do speed stuff. Like, because I pretty much look at, like, all speed-related things as, well, are you 300? Oh, well, you're fucking garbage. So, like, I guess I just won't use it. And that's pretty much why I, like, never use any of my speed units. That's just kind of the mentality I have. Because I have a couple of friends of mine who are just, like, absolute speed monsters, and I just look at their stuff, and I'm like, man, that's fucking crazy. So I just look at their stats, and I was like, I guess I just won't race. And that pretty much kind of influenced the nature of all the gear that I build. So, like, everything is, like, really tanky, or has, like, ER in it. And, like, see, even Ahmed, yeah, fucking garbage. Not 300 speed. Trash. But, yeah. Either way, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had a great one. I was out of town for just a few days. That's why the Guild War's coming up fairly late. And hopefully this all works out for you. I had a couple of Guild War clips from several Guild Wars ago that I put up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. But hey, if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of my content, go on ahead and hit subscribe. I try to put out like 3 videos a week. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Later.